amassing enough capital to venture into the world of investments. Throughout this journey, I absorbed invaluable lessons on financial literacy, a legacy passed down from my father. Armed with knowledge, I navigated the complexities of investment with relative ease, reaping profits and avoiding major pitfalls. Similarly, I mirrored my father's work ethic, seeking his counsel whenever I encountered professional challenges. In the early years of my career, post-work drinks with my father became a cherished tradition, providing a sanctuary for candid discussions away from the tensions that sometimes brewed at home. While my mother's presence occasionally injected discord into our conversations, those moments shared with my father offered solace and clarity amidst life's tumult. Under my father's guidance, I flourished in my career, finding both success and a newfound sense of self-assurance. My passion for my work deepened, feeling a profound dedication to my professional pursuits. Despite remaining single, I harbored no regrets about prioritizing my career. Life unfolded in a familiar rhythm. While my mother's extravagant tendencies remained a concern, I chose to focus on my work, allowing her the freedom to indulge in her habits. Yet, amidst the demands of my job, my mother insisted on assigning household tasks, blurring the lines between work and home life. Determined to maintain equilibrium, I endeavored to balance both spheres of responsibility. Over time, I honed my domestic skills, mastering chores, and even refining my culinary talents. I viewed these endeavors optimistically, imagining they might one day serve me well in marriage. Nevertheless, the weight of my mother's expectations grew burdensome. I sensed the need to break free from the confines of this suffocating existence, yearning for a life unencumbered by her demands. Amidst the chaos of my daily life, the presence of my older brother and his wife only served to compound my troubles. David, my elder by 2 years, and his wife Lily, who coincidentally shares my age, began frequenting our family home more often. While their visits weren't inherently problematic historically, David and I never saw eye to eye. Our personalities clashed relentlessly. I embodied the conservative and prudent traits inherited from our father, while David mirrored our mother's impulsive and carefree nature. Since childhood, David's approach to finances mirrored his personality. He spent recklessly, devoid of any foresight or planning, living purely for the present moment. Yet despite his financial missteps, he possessed a cunning charm, adept at winning our mother's favor whenever he found himself in need of funds. "Mom, I truly appreciate all your hard work and dedication to keeping our household running smoothly," David would croon, effortlessly weaving his way into her good graces. "I promise to lend a hand with chores next time." With honeyed words, he effortlessly manipulated her, securing whatever his heart desired. Not only was David adept at charming our mother, but he also excelled in sports, particularly soccer, where his skills earned him admiration from the community. To our mother, David was the epitome of pride, a son whose accomplishments reflected positively on her. Basking in his accolades felt akin to receiving praise herself. Thus, it became routine for her to indulge his every whim, showering him with affection and gifts. In contrast, my strengths lay in academia, lacking the prowess displayed by my brother in sports. Consequently, from my mother's perspective, there was little cause for celebration in my endeavors. I appeared unremarkable, often overshadowed by David's achievements. In the eyes of our neighbors, I was simply known as David's sister. This dynamic fueled my mother's favoritism towards him, leaving me feeling overlooked and undervalued. Moreover, my close bond with our father likely exacerbated her preference for David. Despite our father's attempts at impartiality, my mother's partiality only deepened David's arrogance and hostility towards me. Our strained relationship only served to further entrench my mother's allegiance to him, perpetuating the cycle of favoritism and resentment. "Jessica, move. You're blocking the TV." "Why should I? I was here first. The anime I've been waiting for is about to start. Move from that spot on the couch." "What? You've recorded that anime. You can watch it later. I want to watch it live now." "Just move." David's self-centeredness was a common occurrence, his desires always taking precedence. Despite the blatant unfairness of his demands, our mother consistently sided with him. Even in moments of conflict or disagreement, she remained steadfast in her support of David. "What are you doing, Jessica? David's show is starting, so move and let him watch." "But I was watching something." "Quit being selfish and let him watch. You go back to your room, you're just in the way." Mother's scolding reverberated through the air, her tone sharp and unyielding. Left with no recourse, I retreated to the solace of my room while David claimed the couch without a hint of remorse. As if to underscore our favoritism, Mother returned with snacks and juice exclusively for David, disregarding my presence entirely. In the absence of our father, such partiality towards David only intensified, leaving me feeling increasingly alienated. Growing up amidst this dynamic, it was only natural for me to distance myself from David. As we transitioned into adulthood, my first encounter with David's wife, Lily, left an indelible impression. "So, you're Jessica, David's sister," she remarked, her words dripping with disdain. "You're every bit as plain and unfashionable as David described you. It's no wonder you lack any charm." I was rendered speechless, the sting of Lily's words cutting deep during what should have been a joyous family gathering. While such comments might have warranted reprimand from other family members, David and Lily appeared to revel in their cruelty, leaving me with an instant aversion towards Lily. Her disdainful remarks became a recurring theme, tarnishing even the most cherished family gatherings from New Year's celebrations to Independence Day. "Jessica, we're the same age, yet here you are, still single. Have you ever even had a boyfriend?" Lily's taunts echoed through the room, amplified by David's chuckles of agreement. "No man would ever consider someone as ordinary as you. Jessica's always been devoid of worth, with nothing to offer," they jeered in unison, their words a harsh reminder of their disdain for me. In my father's absence, David and his wife seized the opportunity to demean me, with my mother offering no defense, only joining in their laughter. Consequently, every family gathering at our parents' home became an ordeal for me. Several years ago, when David was transferred for work, the frequency of these uncomfortable gatherings diminished, offering me a semblance of peace. However, his recent return brought back the unwelcome intrusion. Regardless of the season, David and his wife now visit every weekend, disrupting my routine and exacerbating the tension. "You're still as unremarkable as ever, aren't you? Living at home at your age. It's simply unacceptable. Did you know they call women like you parasite singles? It's embarrassing to have someone like you as my sister-in-law," their mocking words only adding insult to injury. David and Lily's harsh words strike a chord of truth within me. It's undeniably embarrassing. As the one who financially supports my mother's lifestyle, I find solace by retreating to my room whenever they belittle me. While they don't actively seek my company, I can't help but notice their outings with my mother. During these occasions, I hastily prepare and consume my meal before retreating to the sanctuary of my room, where I can work without much interaction with them. Yet the frequency of their visits only seems to increase with time, and each time, my mother treats them to lavish meals. Perusing the credit card statements, I'm taken aback by the frequency of their visits to upscale wine bars and barbecue restaurants. Moreover, I can't ignore the fact that most of the designer clothing they flaunt is purchased by my mother. It's a perplexing situation. My mother showers them with gifts and treats, and they accept it as their entitlement. The disparity between their indulgence and my own frugality weighs heavily on my mind. Finally reaching the end of my patience, I mustered the courage to confront my mother about her excessive indulgence towards David and Lily. "Mom, you're spoiling David and Lily too much with all these fancy dinners. They both have jobs. Why don't you let them pitch in sometimes?" My words ignited a fiery reaction from my mother, her face flushing with anger. "Who do you think you are, telling me how to spend my money? How I treat David and Lily is none of your concern. Have you forgotten the favor of allowing you to live under this roof?" Her words struck me like a blow, leaving me stunned by her audacity. It was perplexing how she could disregard all I've done for her, seemingly forgetting my contributions to our household. The only reason I remain in my childhood home is out of respect for the promise I made to my father, not out of any desire to be with her. It appeared that Mother had shared our recent disagreement with David and Lily as they arrived at the house a few days later with stern words. "Jessica, it's time to face reality. The only reason you're still here is because of Mom's kindness. How could you betray her like this? People like you are nothing but parasites, Jessica. It's time for you to leave this house." "Excuse me, you heard us correctly. We're going to be living here with Mom from now on. So, could you please make arrangements to leave?" With a heavy burden weighing on my shoulders, the trio launched into a tirade against me. My patience waned as their words cut deeper. "I'm no saint. There's no reason for me to continue being kind to people who treat me like this. It's too late for them to realize the error of their ways." In that moment, a plan for retribution formed in my mind against David, Lily, and Mother. "I understand. If my leaving brings you satisfaction, then so be it. The couple's malicious grins only fueled my resolve. Remember your promise. If you're still here when we return, we won't hesitate to evict you. With determination coursing through me, I bid farewell to the house. Let's start anew, Mom. Yes, I'm thrilled. It'll be wonderful living with David and Lily. What a joy it will be. As they gleefully discussed their future, I retreated to my room, immediately setting out to find a new home. Opting for practicality over extravagance, I set out for an affordable apartment near my workplace, prioritizing safety and convenience. With the logistics swiftly arranged, I notified Mother of my impending move. In response, she wasted no time informing David and Lily. A week later, my relocation was complete, and it became clear that Mother's allegiance lay elsewhere. She embarked on a vacation with the couple, only returning in time for David and Lily's move into our family home. Soon after, Mother's voice crackled through the phone, laced with shock and anger. Jessica, what's going on? Where are all the furniture and appliances? Well, I bought them with my own money, so I took them with me, I replied calmly. Don't be absurd. I bought those with my money. Remember, you asked me to replace them, and I did. I paid for everything. Mother's frustration was palpable. You're mistaken. I've been using my own credit card for purchases, I countered. It seemed Mother had conveniently forgotten that the card she used was provided by me. But I let her accusations roll off me, ending the call casually. Eventually, Mother attempted to replace the missing items, only to find the bank account linked to her credit card had been emptied. A few days later, I received a call from David. Mom's credit card isn't working. What's going on? You're behind this, aren't you? David's accusatory tone sliced through the air, revealing his keen intuition. I simply took necessary measures, I replied, trying to frame my actions in a more positive light. His anger simmered beneath his words. You've been footing the bills all this time. Did you realize that every luxury, from fine wines to designer clothes, was funded by the sister you've belittled? So, unknowingly, we've been living off your generosity. David's realization hung heavy in the air. Exactly. How does it feel, David, to know your lifestyle was bankrolled by the sister you ridiculed? You two seem quite proud. Must be a blow to your ego, I remarked, deliberately provoking them. David appeared flustered, struggling to find a retort amidst his frustration. Why the hell would you do this? He finally exclaimed, his irritation palpable. Lily, who had been listening in, interjected with a pointed question. Why didn't you inform us earlier? Mom, does this mean you have no money left? Mother, caught off guard by Lily's accusation, stammered in response. I always assumed there was a substantial inheritance from your father. I'm sorry. While our father did leave behind some inheritance, Mother's extravagant spending habits depleted much of it, leaving little for us. It was this realization that prompted him to advise me to build my own wealth. I trust you'll find a solution. I've only followed your guidance, I asserted. Jessica, wait, we're not finished yet, David protested, but I refused to entertain further discussion, cutting ties with him, Lily, and Mother. Ignoring their pleas for reconciliation, I blocked their numbers. Subsequently, I received emails from both Mother and David, each pleading for assistance. Through these messages, a startling revelation emerged. David had resigned from his job under the mistaken assumption that he could live off our presumed family wealth. It was clear that his lavish lifestyle had left him with unrealistic expectations. Currently, they struggle to make ends meet with part-time jobs, their past extravagance now a distant memory. Their constant disputes only serve to underscore the stark contrast between their previous lifestyle and their current reality. Despite their pleas to move in with me, I remained steadfast in my decision to sever ties, choosing to ignore their messages and focus on my own path. Currently, I revel in the tranquility of my solitary existence. I have severed ties with David and Mother, content in the knowledge that I've honored my father's wishes. Focused on my career and financial goals, I am determined to expand my wealth through diligent work and strategic investments. As I steadily build my assets, I also intend to gradually delve into the realms of love and companionship, open to the possibilities of romance and marriage.